going to demonstrate how we can extract calcium from chalk. Now for the experiment, we're going to need some very simple chemicals. We're going to need some chalk, and I am using anti-dust white chalk, but you could use any other colored chalk. Just be mindful that there may be pigment that will be extracted and your solution may look colored. We're also going to need some hydrochloric acid, and we're going to use the 1 molar hydrochloric acid today. And for the other parts, we will need to know the mass of the chalk involved, so we need a scale. We're going to do a filtration, so we'll need a filter paper. We'll need to know the volume of hydrochloric acid solution that we're using, so we'll need a graduated cylinder. As I said, we're going to do filtration, so we are going to do Buchner or vacuum filtration today. So here is a smaller Buchner flask and a Buchner funnel. I'm going to crush my chalk, so I'm using a mortar and pestle. And I'm going to perform the experiment inside a beaker. First thing that I have to do is take about 1/4 of this chalk piece and then crush it up. Crushing up the chalk will increase the surface area and increase the contact between the hydrochloric acid solution and the chalk pieces. So now let's turn on the scale, get our beaker, place it on top, tare it, and then use a spatula to transfer between 2 and 3 grams of chalk into it. Today, I am using 2.95 grams of the chalk for my experiment. The rest I can discard in the trash. With this, I can set my scale aside, and I can measure out the 80 milliliters of the 1 molar hydrochloric acid solution. Today, I measured out 81.7 milliliters of the 1 molar hydrochloric acid solution. Now I am going to slowly, very slowly, transfer it onto the chalk. The reaction will produce carbon dioxide gas, and that will create a lot of bubbles. So if we add the hydrochloric acid too fast, the bubbles may cause the solution to overflow. Now we wait until the fizzing stops. Our solution may not become completely clear, and we may still have a mixture here, a heterogeneous mixture, because many chalks don't just contain calcium carbonate, but also some kind of pigment that will cause their color. And so that pigment may not be soluble in water at all, and we want to remove that in the first stage. It has been approximately 15 minutes or so, and our pigment settled to the bottom, and the solution on top is our chalk as it reacted with the hydrochloric acid. If everything went well, our products should be calcium chloride, which is soluble in water, and then the carbonate that was there bubbled away in the form of carbon dioxide, and there may have been some water created as well. So the next step we have to do is remove the pigment, and that requires filtration. Today, I'm going to use vacuum filtration and a relatively small Buchner flask and Buchner funnel. I will connect the two, get a filter paper that fits, and then place it on top. Next, I am going to connect the Buchner setup, or the vacuum filtration setup, to the vacuum line by turning it on. When it's hissing, the vacuum will start to pull air. And as I connect it, it will pull the air through the paper, the funnel, the flask, and through this little sidearm. Now here I can add some water, or I can add a small amount of the solution that is on top here. I will add a small amount of the solution. The purpose is the same. It is to wet the filter paper to cause it to stick to the funnel. If we have very small particles of the pigment, it may cause our filtrate to become cloudy, but if they are in large enough clumps, they will stick to the filter paper. When the mixture is done filtering, the next thing is making sure that the transfer is complete. So we bring in some deionized water. And we add 2 small increments into the beaker. Swirl it really well. And then transferring it into the funnel. Once it is dry, we add our second round of washing solution, which is just deionized water and whatever it picks up from the beaker. And then we wait until it dries as much as it can until the filter paper is just moist. When the filter paper is dry for the final time, then we disconnect from the vacuum line and turn off the vacuum. For the next step, we bring in our hot plate, turn it on, place a watch glass on top of it, then we remove the funnel, and gently we extract the filter paper with the pigment on top of it, and then place it on the watch glass. It will take a little bit of time on gentle heat for the paper to completely dry, at which point we're going to put it on the scale again and determine the mass of the pigment that was extracted in the process. It has been about 10-15 minutes, and my filter paper is completely dry, and you can see the pigment has turned to a sort of beige browny color. At this point, I'm going to turn off my hot plate and wait for the watch glass and the paper to cool down. And while I do that, I will set up for my final measurement. For this measurement, I'm going to need a scale. I will place a weighing boat on the scale, and I will also place a clean and dry filter paper, 1 sheet. Then I will tare the scale. I will remove the filter paper. And then I will add the filter paper that contains the pigment on it. The new mass that is collected and recorded by the scale is 0.23 grams, and this is going to be the mass of the pigment that was extracted from the chalk.